sustainable way, what kind of documents could I actually offer you?
I mean, it's more, it's less documentation based, but more along the lines of what you've actually done, right? So you'd have to actually show your track record of what you've done and, you know, your achievements. Yeah. So where that sort of ties in is, you know, what you essentially need to prove and sort of show your eligibility that, you know, this is what I've done in the past, and hence why I would like to apply for a 10-year residency.
And is it available now?
It's getting there relatively quick. It's getting there.
The announcement just came out, but we still haven't received the costing of it, the exactly how to submit the documents, what documents needs to be submitted. However, they did come up saying any person involved in international communities, NGOs who's working towards the environment, they become eligible for this visa.
How great of Dubai to just say, we want to bring environmentalists here.
But it is attracting the best of the best talents from the world. This is how this is moving towards.
And when this type of announcement comes out, do you get inbounds from, you know, someone living in another country? Like, is there interest from outside as soon as these types of announcements come through? Does the news trickle to them?
We have started getting some inquiries, especially from UK for now. We haven't really received a lot of information because this news has just come out this week. But we are still hoping as the news follow through and we get to know more on costing and details, we will get more and more inquiries for sure.
So you mentioned costs there, that we don't have the information, but I would just love if you have the information to hand of cost comparisons between the different visas. So like golden visa, green visa.
Yeah.
Is there a big comparison between them?
Because the thing is that there is a bit of a difference here and there, because the thing is that they're targeted at different market segments, right? So when we're talking about golden visas, we're talking about more along the lines of investors, people who've got property, people who've got businesses in the country, who've declared, you know, a certain amount of VAT that they filed, etc. When we're talking green visas, we're talking about entrepreneurs, small business owners, you know, people who are just bringing a startup into the country. When we talk about blue visas, then we start talking about, you know, people who are more, you know, directed into the field of sustainability. So in terms of, you know, what you have to pay in order to get one of these residency visas, it is relatively the same, but again, there's, you know, variables involved. So yeah, so I mean, it just you know, it plays the part in that sense, yeah.
So you're subtly saying it might be cheaper.
Well, we are really hoping, yes. Because again...
So while you're here and while we have you, it's great to kind of get insight on other topics that people have questions on. And one of those, when we put a question box out to our audience, was amortization. So we're seeing stories about amortization, fines, companies adapting. Can you explain what it is?
Yes, as Decisive Zone, because we are dealing with almost 6,000 clients and we are committed to make sure we manage all the admin work for all our clients. So we do offer human resources services wherein we start with recruitment, payroll, compensation, and managing amortization for all our clients.
Wow.
Now, the bomb was dropped last week. 1,300 companies got fined. So this is more of awareness, I would say, for companies who employ more than 20 employees. They must be aware that they must hire one Emirati for every 20 employees. I can give you a little bit more breakdown. So companies who have got 0 to 20 employees, they are exempted from hiring an Emirati if they do not really need one. From 20 to 49 employees, you must hire one Emirati every 6 months. And this is going to increase in 2025. And then above 50 employees, it depends on what category your company fall under. Depending on that, you must hire more and more Emiratis. How it works, Emiratis must apply for NAFIS, which is a federal body, wherein the government compensates the part salary each Emirati is eligible for. So for example, if you hire an Emirati at 5,000 dirham and you have per month, and you have gotten, the Emirati has got a bachelor degree and he's, let's say, eligible for 10,000 dirham, NAFIS will compensate the balance 5,000 dirham. But what the companies must do is apply for the pension system with the federal body. That's where we come in play. We help people to make sure all this admin work are taken care of. Companies must know the fine starts at 48,000 dirham per Emirati if you do not stay compliant as per the Mohre rules. Mohre is the labor body in the UAE government.
So all of that kind of government admin and paperwork, you kind of just tick all those boxes and you make sure the companies are above board.
We have got specialized team managing each of these areas.
Do you have any insight on the companies that have been penalized?
We just know the minimum fine started at 48,000 and it can go up to 2 million dirham depending on the size of the company. So everybody must, like you must stay compliant with your VAT and your corporate tax. You must stay in compliant with the emiratization because it is by His Highness's team that this has come out.
It is, and we do speak of the success of emiratization quite regularly. But is the rule already enforced of one Emirati per 20 workforce?
First 20, you must hire. Yeah, as soon as you have first 20 employees, you must hire one. Then 20 to 49, you must hire one every 6 months. Okay. So this is a regular process. It is not a one-time hiring.
It's so interesting to watch it unfold, and it's also interesting to understand that there's a company like Decisive Zone there to help people through the legwork, which
we are here for you.
It's interesting because some people are so talented at, for example, if we're good at media, but like the paperwork in the back end, let's put that somewhere else. We have you back in the hot seat, Mr. Golden Visa, and every single time we put the question box up, so we're going to rehash it. How do you get a golden visa?
Let's talk about this today.
Every single time it's like, do you have any questions? Like, how do I get one? We're like, we have answered it, but while you're here.
Right. So yeah, golden visa essentially, like Duty has been explaining. So you can either go down the route of having a property where if it's valued over 2 million dirham, you can apply for it. You need to show a title deed. You can apply for it. Pretty straightforward process. The second option is if you're an investor who has a business that's been running in the country, and if you have filed a VAT of about 275,000 dirham, you can also use that as a declaration that you are active in the country, and you can use that as paperwork in terms of checking eligibility. So you can also get that done that way.
And again, how much does it cost?
For the salaried employees who gets 30,000 dirham and above, or a corporate level, C-level executive, management level executive, they can check their eligibility. The cost is between 4,700 to 5,500. That's the basic government cost. For people, investors, businessmen, and people taking a golden visa based on their property, it starts between 9,700 and 12,000 dirham, depending on the VIP services.
Okay, so it changes. And then is it necessary, maybe you understand this question more than I do, actually no, is it necessary to have 50% construction done for a golden visa? So if you're buying the...
No, it is not 50%. It is 24% of the construction must be completed of the property to become eligible for the golden visa.
And is there paperwork that people can get in that instance to kind of prove it?
Yes, the developers are providing paperwork to support claiming for the golden visa.
And what about if the property is off plan, but it's valued over 2 million? Does that count?
Yes, off-plan properties are eligible for golden visa. Again, as I mentioned, the property must have completed 24% of construction to become eligible for it.
Guys, thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the show today. If you have questions, how can people reach out to Decisive Zone and get those questions answered?
DecisiveZone.ae. You can find us on Instagram, Decisive Zone, @Decisive Zone, or you can WhatsApp us directly, 05535
Visa, emiratization, all of your business needs covered by these guys. That brings us to the end of the show. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Perfect. Thank you, Casey.